Hey, Katrina here from ScrappyHorses. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So happy you're joining me today. I'm working on a vintage guy card that would be appropriate for Father's Day or for birthday or any other occasion you just want to send a card to a guy in your life. I decided to go with this vintage look, and my focal image is from the old design shop. They have a lot of great images. All right, let's go on over to the craft table and let's get started on this. I'm going to start out with a craft colored card base. This piece is a piece I want to talk about. It is part of the patterns in Cricut Design Space. However, I didn't like the color and I needed to change it. You cannot do that in Cricut Design Space. So I have a video to show you how to do that. It's going to pop up in the upper right-hand corner. Click it and check it out. It's a lot of fun. All right, here's my piece from the old design shop. A little clock, some tickets, a little movie reel, price tag, little film strip. This is a little part from a security envelope that I'm going to use on top of that film strip piece. And my inner piece of Faber-Castel Pitt pen. I've got some buttons down there you can see. My Fabric-Tac, my ATG runner, some gloss finish. Now, the only reason I have gloss finish is because I like to spray the focal image with that. It just gives it a little different look. All right. I also have some Liquitex white gel. And you'll see what I use that for here in a little bit. Actually, gesso, not gel. All right, it's not very exciting watching people ink, so I sped that up quite a bit. Now, let's come in with that gesso. The reason I did this was just basically to knock back the color a little bit because it was really black, and I didn't want it to take away from my focal images and all my little embellishments. So I knocked back that color a little bit, and it also gave it a little bit of texture. Again, I'm going back and inking and using my Pitt pen. All right, let's go ahead and dip this into some embossing ink, sprinkle it with some black embossing powder, and now I'm going to set that with my heat gun. Now, I'm not sure if you know you can do this, but sometimes it's a lot of fun to double up and do it again. So now I'm going to bring in another color, just lightly sprinkle over parts of it with that copper. Going to wipe away just a little bit with my finger, and now I'm going in with a third time with a little more black. Now you can see that it kind of gives it a texture and sort of an old vintage feel, which is what I was after for this card. I'm going to cut away the edges on that little scrap from the security window of an envelope. And I'm going to use my Barely Arts glue and just glue that right into place. Now this envelope was pretty scratched up and old, but that's okay because it looks really good for this vintage card. Adding a little bit of gold spray, and I'm going to wipe away the bigger globs and set that aside to dry. This layering piece I did with just a bunch of Copic markers, and it's not neatly done, but it makes a great background piece. I'm going to take my button, cut away the shank, and I couldn't get it very flat. So I'm going to come in with a nail file as well as some sandpaper on a block and just sand that away. Now, once I have it sanded and it's very flat and smooth, I'm going to take it and add a little bit of ATG and Fabric-Tac and put it on top of the white clock. Now, you might be wondering, why did you do that? Well, I did that just to let it pop off a little bit because the card is sort of dark, so the white gives it a little bit of pop off. Went ahead and assembled my first two pieces there, and now I'm coming in and I'm putting my pieces together. I'm using a little bit of cereal board here to pop off the right side of my focal image there so it lays over the film strip, and I have room to put all the little pieces underneath. I'm also going to build up the left side of that clock. You can see that little half circle there under there. All right, so I have everything in place and it's all glued down. and the card is finished. I had a lot of fun making this. I really like collage style cards, and I really like vintage style. So this card was right up my alley. I enjoyed this. Any comments or questions, please leave them below. I have created this for the Path of Positivity Challenge, and I will leave that information below, as well as anything else you might need to recreate this card. Have a great day. I'll catch up with you in the next video. Bye.